live on Campus Tutorial TV. I am by name Jibril Abubakar, aka the Golden Voice of GSU. In today's edition, we are going to discuss on how the Islamic religion penetrated into the West Africa in totality. Taken from the historical backdrop, Islam was said to have penetrated into West Africa from North African region. And when we say North Africa, we mean a collection of countries like Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Libya, among others. Islamic religion was said to have reached North Africa during the reign of one prominent Khalifa of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is Khalifa Omar, during which he sent one of his military commander on a mission, on expedition into North Africa. This event or incident occurred around 6th to 7th century, when the whole North African region was Islamized. The North African people were mainly Arab-speaking people. They were in need of gold, slaves, ivory, among others. They are in possession of dates, sword, among others. This served as the basis for their need to move in a commercial business transaction with the people of West Africa. And if we say West Africa, in those days we're referring to the Western Sudan and the Central Sudan. Western Sudan is dealing with empires like Ghana, ancient Ghana Empire, Mali Empire, Songhai Empire, and their counterpart, the Central Sudan, that is places like Kanem-Borno Empire and the Hausa State. Islamic religion was said to have moved mainly as a result of the information had by the Arabs concerning the resources available in the West African region. West Africa in those days are naturally endowed with gold, silver, ivory, as well as slaves. So the North Africa passed across the Sahara, that is the Trans-Sahara. They engaged in what we call Trans-Sahara trade. That is the trade across the Sahara between the North African Arabs, who are Muslim scholars, and the West African leaders, as well as the people, that is the merchant. Those leaders of empires, they engage in a Trans-Sahara trade, which served as the basis of their economic development, with which they use in the development of other institutions of those empires. According to Tahir Fagi, he posited that trade has long been noticed by historians as one of the major links between countries and empires. This clearly explains to us the role trading activities played in the spread of Islamic religion into West Africa as well as Africa as a whole. Those North African merchants, they are interested in gold, as I said earlier on, and those gold and diamond were present in abundance in Ghana, Mali, Songhai, Kanem-Borno. So in transactions, the North African people leave North Africa into West Africa and live for a long period of time, like 1 month, 1 month plus, 2 months, as the case may be. So when they come to North and West Africa in those days, they try to establish a relationship with the rulers of those empires, where it's provide them with an abode to live for a short period of time. And in the course, they establish a relationship with them where they engage in a transaction of goods for goods and service for services. Through this, the North African people began to exhibit some basic qualities of their religions, which tend to be distinctive from the traditional religion of the West African people. For example, North African merchants, in the course of their transactions, they are very honest. Secondly, the North African merchants were also, in some occasions, performing their salat, 5 daily prayer. And again, during the ceremonial period, like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Kabir, they try to make sacrifices of rams where they share those meats to the non-Muslims of West Africa. Gradually, the religion began to bewitch those people of West Africa. One of the most important agents that led to the embracement or the imbibing of the Islamic religion in the people of the people of West Africa is that the rulers, for example, like the leader of Kanem-Borno Empire, Maihu Mejilmi, he was said to have embraced the Islamic religion around 8th century, according to some literatures. Some say 9th century, where he embraced the religion of Islam. And in those days, obedience to rulers is just like obedience to God. When the subjects realize that their leader accepted the religion, then the majority, the whole of the subjects in the community embrace the religion of Islam. Therefore, the role of rulers is the most paramount in the spread of Islamic religion into West Africa. Secondly, the second most important factor that supported the propagation and the spread of Islamic West Africa is trade route. That is the trade network that linked the various West African regions with the North Africa. For example, we have some trade routes like Gaza, Feza, Gao, Timbuktu, among others. Those trade routes serve as the network that connected. It serves as a point where the merchants do settle for a while in transactions with the people of West African region. And in the course, the religion is spreading, the idea is being embraced largely by the people of West Africa. Get dominance in North Africa, in West Africa from the North Africa. As I said earlier on, from the inception, they need gold, the Arabs need gold, slaves, ivory, which are the most veritable resources found in West Africa. Mansa Musa is one of the most prominent leader that plays instrumental role in the spread of Islamic religion in the entire Mali Empire. For example, Mansa Musa was said to have traveled to perform a pilgrimage to Mecca, where he traveled along with over 700 camels laden with gold. Upon arriving at Egypt, he was said to have dashed out lavishly a large number of gold to so many rulers of those North African countries. In those days, it was said to have devalued the price of gold there. He moved to Mecca, where he came along with a number of scholars into Mali Empire with quite a number of literatures, thereby making Mali Empire to be a center of Islamic learning and civilization. His activities led to the establishment of the Sankore University in Mali Empire. Again, the people of Mali Empire, especially the youth, were given quite a number of scholarships to study in places like Al-Azhar University in Egypt, where they return back home adding value to the Islamic civilization, Islamic knowledge, Islamic activities, as well as the spreading of Islamic religion in Mali Empire. Second most important leader is the activities of Idris Aluma, a very strong scholar, Islamic scholar that involved himself in a revolutionary movement where he transformed the entire traditional activities that were hitherto dominant in the Kanem-Borno Empire and replaced it with the Islamic teaching and activities. He also established a diplomatic relationship with Tunisia. He built a hostel at the capital, which is Tunis, where so many people, especially the youth from Kanem-Borno Empire, move in search of Islamic knowledge and civilization. Kanem-Borno Empire in those days, around 16th century, 17. Idris Aluma established quite a number of Islamic schools, building of gigantic mosques, as well as entrenchment of Islamic principles, laws in the entire social system, as well as the political institutions. He tended to Islamize the entire community of Kanem-Borno Empire, which attracted so many people into the Kanem-Borno Empire. Like the Hausa people that come from the Hausa land, the vast majority of them study Islamic knowledge at Kanem-Borno Empire, which was one of his handwork. Another important agency that facilitated the spread of Islamic religion is the Almoravid invasion. Almoravid is one of the Islamic institutions that was headed by Abdullah bin Yasir, which was established family to spread the Islamic religion in the West Africa. The most spectacular example in respect to the activities, the role played by the Almoravidun in the spread of Islamic religion was the activities of Almoravidun in ancient Ghana Empire. They invaded Ghana Empire in 1076 and introduced what is known as proselytization policy, where majority of the people of Soninke people of Mali, Soninke people of Ghana, was said to have embraced the religion of Islamic, the Islamic religion in Ghana Empire, thereby made the religion to be dominant than the traditional religion practice hitherto. Another important role that led to the spreading of the religion is trading activities. It was the trade at the initial stage that compelled the North African merchants, who are also Muslim clerics, that move all the way from North Africa across the Sahara, Trans-Sahara, that is across the Sahara region, which is an ocean of land as a result of desert encroachment. It's just an ocean of land with the use of camel, use of horses. They penetrated across the Sahara region and they moved into North and West Africa. When arriving in West Africa, that is the people of Arabs. They arrived in West Africa through the transaction mode, led to the intermingling of ideas and understanding between the people of West Africa. Through this means, the religion of Islam, which was brought by the Arabians, was said to have embraced by the West African people. And this is how the religion spread through merchant, through trading connectivity between the West African merchant and the North African merchant. The merchants themselves are scholars, and it is one of the responsibility of every Muslim to spread the Islamic religion to wheresoever he might find himself.
These are the agencies that facilitated the spreading of the Islamic religion in West Africa. And you can understand from the initial explanation where I make it clear that the religion spread or penetrated into West Africa from North African region. North African were Arabs and merchants, at the same time as scholars. So in the course of moving into West Africa in the course of trading activities, that led them to gradually exhibit some morality of Islam, their truthfulness, among others, coupled with the explanation in respect to the religion, and gradually the people of West Africa accepted the religion, and you can see the agencies that I have laid down so far and give brief explanation as possible on how those agencies help in the spreading of the religion of Islam into West Africa. I hope you enjoy it as I enjoy it too. So I urge you to continue to subscribe, share, and like Campus Tutorial Channel.